Right, we're here talking bollocks. Noon, UK time, Tuesday, whatever date it is. Can't remember. It's all merging into one these days.
Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday.
It
How are
is
you, Mega
Tuesday,
Geek?
you're right.
I'm all right. I'm ready to talk about anything really.
Oh, yes.
All that's missing is the pub. Let's face it.
Or the toilets.
And a
Yeah.
drink.
And the drink, yeah. The beer.
Matthew, how are you?
Yeah, I've been better, but I'm alive, and that's the main thing.
It is, mate.
It's good to be alive, you know.
Show must go on, yes.
Yes, it must.
It must. Nothing to really talk about, guys. Just,
Well, I mean,
just
yeah,
free will it, as it were,
I was looking at that, catching up on that Shang-Chi thing today. Is it Shang-Chi?
Well, when
And
I
I
was
was like-
a kid, I used to say Shang-Chi because that's the word chai, isn't it?
You're,
Well,
you're working
Chinaman,
class,
yeah,
though, aren't you?
Chinaman. It's not Chinaman.
Yes, I'm saying, I don't understand why they're calling it Shang-Chi, especially when, what's his name came out, Feige came out and he said, our next thing is Shang-Chi. I'm like, isn't it chai? Because it says chai. It doesn't say chi.
Do you think that it's aimed for the Chinese market? I don't know. I just have that funny. I have that funny feeling that it is.
Mm.
I don't think I saw any Caucasian people in that whatsoever. Even the bus driver was Asian.
Well, I mean, also, I said this on another stream that he doesn't look like a hero. He looks like someone that belongs in a sitcom. He doesn't have that
No.
hero look, does he?
He looked really fat. And then like I think there was like an image of him with his shirt off and that, and I was like, oh, he's actually quite buff, but he looked really like a little chubby. He looked like Chow Yun Fat, if you know who that is.
Yes.
Yeah, I know he is, yeah. But Chow Yun-Fat, he looks like a hero and stroke baddie,
don't
doesn't
fuck
he?
with him, though,
He has
do you?
that look. But this guy looks like he belongs in a sitcom. It really doesn't. He really doesn't have that hero look.
Is
What would
he
be
out of the sitcom?
what would be the name of the sitcom?
I don't know, Shang-Chi, I guess. Shang-Chi.
Oh, that'd make a great theme song. Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, let's call the old thing off.
I just think it's bad casting, personally. I don't know what these casting people are looking at these days, but a typical hero look.
Tick, tick,
Yeah, I guess.
tick, 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 tick.
I mean,
He's Chinese, so he's got
like for instance, the guy that was in Waking the Dead. Not Waking the Dead. That zombie
Waking the
TV
Living.
show. Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, right?
Oh,
I know
yes.
that, I know that feeling.
The guy,
That's a Saturday
what's his
night.
name? Who's the
Glenn.
guy? Yeah,
Glenn.
he would really make a really good Shang-Chi, whatever you want to call him, because he has that look where basically he looks like he's inexperienced, but could be one of those heroes that grow into someone that's
The
pretty
rubble,
lethal. He has a good look.
I have a suspicion that his father is going to be the Mandarin
Yeah, but
because
and
they
also-
couldn't do Fu Manchu because
in the comics it was Fu Manchu. Yeah, wasn't it?
Mandarin, not as in Ben Kingsley.
Well, he's not. He
I
was
could see
pretending
that
to be
coming up a
Mandarin.
mile.
I'm just going to jump in here, guys. I think the Mandarin out of Iron Man 3 was one of the biggest wasted characters in the MCU.
I knew
Well-
it was an act. I knew he was going to be an actor, and he was
Fucking hell,
playing.
he was
fake role.
badass. He was badass.
He was good until the point where he just ended up being an
The reveal.
actor, and I was like,
Yeah.
Trevor.
I never even saw that little. Like they did a little story afterwards, didn't they?
Yeah,
Like
one
where he
shot.
was
Yes.
in prison.
One shot.
Yeah.
It's called One Shot. Marvel's
Yeah.
One Shot.
But they don't even do that anymore, do they, Ian?
No, I really liked the one shots. I liked the Colson
Yeah.
one where he went into the shop, and that was really badass.
They
as
got
well.
a gun. They had a gun from.
Yeah, and I like the
first
Trevor
one,
bit
yeah.
where he was in jail. I thought that was pretty clever, and do you know what I mean? And they just
Even
stopped doing
what's
it.
her name? Haley Atwell was a.
Yeah, she had one,
that was a
yeah.
pilot. Yeah.
The
yeah.
good old days.
But it's all politics filled now, so it's just a bit weird at the moment.
It has become that way, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
I-
since the whole Brie Larson incident.
Yeah, I watched the Inquisition, Nerdrotic and Doomcock Hale. They basically said exactly the same as what we did about the Winter Soldier, but
Oh.
I'm so glad I haven't seen
with
that.
their
I knew
with
I was
their
going to be disappointed.
bigger, fancier words, though.
Well,
Keith?
generally, yeah.
Yeah, he invited me on one of his streams, and I said, "Look, Keith, I'd love to be on the stream, but I haven't watched any of the episodes because
Yeah.
I'm not interested."
Yeah. The problem is that real fans, you know what? It's the language of TV and film. People like us, we understand the language of TV and film. We know what the balance is, and when
Well,
it
you
comes
understand
to
it more
normies,
too.
well, not only
Annoyingly
me
so.
though. Not only
Yeah.
me though. People like Gary understands it, and Keith, and well, actually
Yeah.
no, Keith is really he's a real fan of anything really, anything that's
Keith
Marvel stuff
Isles.
like that. Yeah, Keith Isles. He's a fan.
I will just say, sorry, Ian. Happy birthday, Keith Isles.
Yeah, it's his birthday today. Yeah.
Oh, happy
And
birthday,
Dan
man.
Hadley. Happy birthday, fellas.
Oh,
Yep.
it's Dan's birthday as well. Happy birthday, Dan.
I sent him a message to come on here, but he never ever answers his messages.
Well, the thing is, he's doing stuff. He texted me this morning. He is doing stuff. I wished him happy birthday. But what I was saying, let me get back to what I was saying. I was saying
Yeah,
that
go on. Sorry,
please
you do have people that know the tone and stuff like that, but you do have people that are fans and they do know the stuff as well. They don't really want to rock the boat. And I hate to say this, I think Keith is one of those people that will sit on the fence when it comes to reviewing stuff.
Smile.
Well, yeah. I've
And
told
nod
that Keith.
politely. Yeah.
Well, no, I told Keith that already. But me and him differ, but we're still friends and stuff. We're allowed to disagree with each other. That's what friendship's all about.
Good.
But
yeah, exactly.
but what I'm saying is that
Very
That's
I think,
supposed to be what it's about. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very adult. Well done.
and I think people, right, who review stuff, a lot of them, I find when you watch YouTube, they don't understand the language of movies and TV. And that's where the problem starts. So you have a fracture in fandom that, some people watch Doctor Who with Jodie in it and think it's perfectly okay. But
Yeah.
those are the
yeah.
people that don't understand the language of the actual show itself.
I have a
if you
friend
understand what I'm
exactly
saying.
like that. I'm just like, look at what they're doing to this show. They're absolute, and he was a huge Doctor Who fan, and he just enjoys it for what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look what they're doing to it. They're making an absolute. They're just like destroying it. I don't want to watch this show anymore. I used to be so excited. Now I don't.
It's been chimpanzeed.
Yeah, but it's like when I watched Boys season 2, I did enjoy it. I did understand what was going on as well. I did understand that they put the politics in towards the ending when all the girls beat up the woman at the ending, and none of the men.
Intersectional shit.
But, but still, it was still to me, it was still enjoyable. It was enjoyable.
I don't enjoy things like that, like Invincible and the Boys and that, because to me, a hero is a hero, and to have someone that's not really like it's supposed to be to look like Superman or whatever like that, and then to be an absolute asshole who kills people and everything like that. It doesn't, to me, he's a super villain. And I know that's the premise of the show, but to me, I if I want to see a hero with a cape, I want to see a hero with a cape. I want to see someone try and survive like Spider-Man, with daily
pants
life
on the outside.
But as I said, I think that the whole point is that it's nice that people have different opinions and stuff like that. That's what makes the world go around. I have no problem with other people liking the Jodie Doctor and stuff like that. But if I was asked my opinion, yes, it isn't. That Doctor Who is not for me anymore. And I have no problem with that either.
There's no need to attack other people for having a different opinion.
Yeah,
I've never attacked anybody for having a different opinion. It's just the fact that it's a terrible show. I sort of just went, you know what? I don't think it's being really made for me anymore. And this was even before the first episode. This was even the first episode of season 11. I was just like, Capaldi to me was a great doctor and everything. I that was actually probably the first time I started to trickle off, but it was only because of the stories.
Yeah.
And then when she came along, I was like, you know what? I don't think this is being made for me anymore. So I'm quite happy with what I've got. I'm going to leave it and wait until maybe next time. Maybe they remake it into something else that it used to be, like I remember. And then when they started mucking around with it, and they put that was that what's her name? The one with the weird African dress. She had a weird African suit on. She was on like, is it Fugitive to Jejune or something like that?
The other
You got a
doctor.
name for her? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what your name.
The council estate. Doctor, that's what I call her. She looks like.
We call them bogans.
All right, because she looks like someone. Because I live in a council estate, right? Or mostly, most all my life, and she definitely looks like someone that lives like my next door neighbor. She looks like my next door neighbor.
But
so
see, what I don't understand is why the fact that she's wearing Aboriginal dress. Like like I don't know if you've seen it. You know what an actual African woman would be wearing, because I work with African women and they're lovely people, but they wear the most outlandish
Aboriginal
suit, no.
Well, it's the shirt,
African.
isn't it? It's the
we
shirt.
don't really work with Aboriginals are like very, very rare.
Well, the thing is, it's if you're talking about the other doctor in that episode with Jodie, she's wearing a very sort of African kind of
orangey
shirt.
Type of thing, And I just thought, well, that's just so undoctorish. You know, that's like actually saying I belong to this.
That wasn't the Joe Martin one, was it?
Yeah, Joe Martin. We're talking about Joe Martin.
She was better than Whittaker.
Doesn't matter if she's better. She's wrong for any kind of doctor. Look.
Okay.
The whole point of look, you know what, right? True equalism in TV shows and films is when a black person can come on and play that part, and that part doesn't it naturally mixes with everyone around her. You know, whether it be white, black, or Asian.
It gels.
You know what makes it good? What a good movie like that is, like Alien. You know, you have a black man, but he doesn't go around saying, "Hey, don't ever go with me because I'm black." You know, he doesn't do that. And like every now and again, all of a sudden,
B.A. Baracus had walked in there.
I used to love Mr. T as well.
I ain't getting on the plane.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of the, that was perfect because he was black. There was no mention of his color at all in the 80s at all. And he didn't. And he wasn't
over.
He was kick ass.
Yeah, I mean, kids gravitated towards him. Black, white kids. It didn't matter what color the kids were.
Natural hero.
His movies were shit, but in the A-Team, he was fantastic. You know. Cab. That was a terrible movie.
But that's pure. That's pure equalism, in my opinion, on TV. When a black man could have a role and it doesn't refer to his race or his color, that's what we should be striving for.
They wouldn't have even thought about it, would they? They'd have just cast him. Yeah. And that's why it works, doesn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Now,
it's a vicious circle, isn't it?
Racism has taken another shade. That's what it's done, and basically, they think to be equal to everyone that their culture should be shown 100% on screen. Therefore, destroying the story and just making things worse.
The issue is though. Nowadays, here in Australia, we are now pretty much a woke country. We are so woke now that we used to have a cheese here, and that had
God, here we go.
What?
Go on. What's the name of it? What's the name of it? We're waiting for it.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. No. Well, let's just say cuckoo and just add an N somewhere along the line.
Right. Okay.
So anyway. Yeah. But anyway, Aboriginals took offence to that, but it wasn't actually named after them or anything. It was actually named after a person. And but the fact of the matter is that it's a racial slur, and so they had to change the name. So what did they change the name to? I think they called it Cheeky or something stupid like that. It's like,
I'm surprised Cocoon hasn't been banned yet. Then.
I never, ever thought of cheese, like in that fashion before, But obviously, it's like this whole thing with a poo. There was a documentary about a poo. If you've ever seen that, this Indian guy actually took it upon himself to make this huge thing about, I was called a poo, in school and all this sort of thing. And then all of a sudden, now all of a sudden people are apologizing for it, and the characters are being removed completely.
It's a good job Gene L. Coon isn't alive anymore then, or else they'd be after him. Star Trek writer.
I watched a thing recently. Have you seen that Talk Radio?
Yes, sometimes.
It's a UK thing. They had a female journalist on there, and she was saying how wonderful it was to have what would you say, an African as what's the name? The one that was married to Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn.
Yeah,
right.
She said how wonderful, because she's a great actress. Oh, sorry, she's called her a great actor. And they said, well, first of all, it's actress. And then they said, but they were just trying to say, well, you wouldn't have a white guy playing Nelson Mandela.
Yeah,
which is true. You wouldn't.
So basically, what they did is they had a black girl playing Anne Boleyn. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So, and she was saying, well, it's because she's a good actress, and they're saying, no, it's not. It's against historical accuracy, and the fact is that she's, she it's obvious. It's an obvious thing because they've gone. It's too white. I mean, the British monarchy was too white back then, and it's like, well, you can't rewrite history. That's the truth. It was.
But that's what they were trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. It's like the equivalent of burning books.
That's what happened with War of the Worlds, wasn't it? The BBC tried to put today's politics into a period drama.
Yeah.
Instead of writing War of the Worlds for present day or future, they messed with it.
Yeah, they did.
And it didn't work, did it?
They can't stuff it up. Surely it's set in the 18th century. It's going to be awesome.
No, they did.
I'm like, and they did. And I had been avoiding all the spoilers and everything like that, and I watched it like maybe a year ago. And I think it's like 4 or 5 years old now. And I thought the exact same thing. I was like, how could you? What the hell was that thing at the end? Where they were in a post-apocalyptic future and all this weird stuff.
In the chats, Krual Birabs in hello, sir. I'm still shocked at the racist cheese.
But do you remember when we used to have the gollywog on the marmalade jam jars?
Robinsons.
Do you remember? Robinsons, yes. And thank God we still got Uncle Ben's face on the rice.
Do you find a gollywog offensive, Ian?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Which one?
Because I never ever put the two and two together when I was a kid.
No.
Having I think the very first time I ever saw political correctness was when the fact that they changed the gollywog from Noddy.
Yes, of course.
It was called Golly. I think it was called Golly.
But it's just the fact that any sign of that is just totally gone now. I mean, there used to be biscuits with them on them. Here.
Yeah. No, but I can understand why they removed it. Sure, I can understand why they removed it. But,
no.
But in history, there are things that people ignore. Like, for instance, Colonel Sanders stole the recipe from black people, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, according to some reports. So do you know what I mean? There are things that the establishment, the people that are in charge, wants to ignore, and now because of all this political correctness, they want to try and shove it to the white man, which is still racism. It's still racism. You want to get rid of racism, if you want to get rid of racism, don't include more racism to get rid of racism.
They want to start selling more jerk chicken. That's what they want to do.
But that's what I'm saying. I think
LOMC.
I think the best thing they ever did, BBC ever did, was Luther, and was to cast a black man, which had no reference to his color whatsoever. To me, that is a step in the right direction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great program.
Yeah, and now they're saying it's wrong, and it's like, well, no, it's not wrong. You're just being stupid. Yeah, that's what you are. You're just being stupid. So, but anyway, whatever, right?
Is it genuinely stupid or just being misinformed?
No, it's generally stupid, because if a black woman who made that comment can't see that she's being racist,
BBC diversity, yes,
if she can't see that she's being racist, then there's no hope for the BBC. If that's the attitude, if they want to look, you can't win a war. There's an episode of Doctor Who that demonstrates this totally. It's the episode where Peter Capaldi was trying to explain to this shape-shifting alien that if you did succeed in your plan, if you did conquer the universe, then there's always going to be someone that's going to be up against you, right? Then they're going to conquer you, and then somebody's going to conquer them, and it's going to go round and round in a circle. And the Doctor was saying, break the cycle. All you have to do is break the cycle. If you want peace, break the freaking cycle. Don't try and take over the universe, because there's always going to be someone that's going to want to take it over from you. And it's just going to go round and round in a circle. And that definitely explains racism. Racism, right? What they're trying to do today is they're trying to take over and be the leaders and set their own rules.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, divide and conquer. But that's not the way. Dividing and conquer, it's just doing the same thing that people done in the past.
Yeah, we did it 100 years ago.
Exactly. I mean, break the freaking circle. That's all you have to do.
I mean, being a white middle-aged male, as far as I'm concerned nowadays, I mean, I feel like
toxic
shit sometimes. People make you feel like shit just for the
way
what you are. No, I know, but the thing is, though, you start feeling that way because you're being told you are bad. You're being told you are bad. That you are sexual predators. That you are you're the worst kind of person, and it's like, well, you don't know me.
No, but the thing is, listen, Matt, if you let those things affect you, they're winning. You shouldn't let them affect you. First thing to do is not to engage in on Twitter, because that's a cesspool. Twitter is a cesspool. All you want to do on Twitter is advertise your wares, because that's all it's good for, right? That's all you need to do. And second thing is to know who you are. You know who you are, Matt. So why would you let these people affect your way of thinking? Don't let them affect your way of thinking. And always speak nice of everybody, no matter what color they are, no matter what race they are, no matter what they've done in the past. That's all you can do. What else can you do? What else can you do? Nothing. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. No, it's just the fact that it's like in Australia at the moment, things are pretty heated. It's a lot of there's a lot of sexual harassment and everything going on, and it seems to be like the white male is the problem. And I only find with Twitter is that when I post on somewhere like the ABC Twitter or something like that, people will actually physically, because you'll write a comment or whatever, and they will literally read your comment, and then they have to comment on your comment, and that to me really irritates me. And they're like, "Well, this is what Twitter's about," and I'm like, "Yes, but I'm commenting on what the actual topic is. I'm not actually commenting on what my opinion is. What my opinion is my opinion,
Twitter is...
And that's where I find that the main problem with arguments happens. It's like, you're a...
There's no... Twitter is about making big, sweeping statements saying, I'm right, you're wrong, deal with it. And if you question me, I'm going to have a go at you.
Yeah, but who cares about Twitter anyway?
There's no nuance. The nuance is gone with it. So just do what Ian says. Avoid.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that's like Ian, just use it as a platform.
Yeah, that's all it's good for.
To show their wares. Yeah.
But seriously, that's all it's good for. Because as I said, Twitter is a cesspool, and you don't really want to get caught up in that kind of nonsense where people are slagging each other off and putting their politics in and stuff like that, because it doesn't do anyone any good. You know who you are. That's the thing. And there's not more I can say about
MC in the chat. Social media is evil. Most of
No,
the
it's
time.
no,
most of the time, it can be.
It can be used for good.
It's the people on social. It's not actually social media. It's the people.
It's like, do you remember last year there was a dwarf boy? He was of Aboriginal descent, and he was being bullied. Yeah, last year he was being bullied, and anyway.
Oh, was that Jackman got involved?
Yes. Yes,
there you go. I was paying attention.
Chris
that day.
Hemsworth and everything like that got involved, and then all of a sudden there was a backlash that he wasn't actually a small child, that he was in fact a fully grown adult who was doing. They actually showed photos of him dressed as a gangster and everything like that, and they said it was all fake. The whole thing was faked, just to earn money, because he got all this money and he got like a trip to Disneyland and all that sort of stuff.
Well,
and
I would say fair play to him. He played the system, but he was very dishonest.
The thing is, though, the social media and the media itself actually turned it around and just made it like it was, he was the villain, and it was just amazing to see how quickly everything just changed, But that's social media for you. And
MC says fair enough. Going back to the previous, as we said, MC, social media can be a very good tool. Agreed, Ian. But
look, social media is there for a reason. It's there to communicate with your family, and it's also to advertise. I was watching this documentary on Netflix. I know you saw the first episode, and it was about technology, and they were saying that China or I can't remember if it was China or Japan, they're creating AI because they want to know everything about everyone in the system. So to get on Google, you have to register everything about yourself before you can get online in China or I don't know, I can't remember, it's China, whatever. So they know everything about you before you
log
on.
What?
And the difference between let me just finish. The difference between America and China or Asia is that America is using the same AI program, but they're using it for profit. So they don't care about catalyzing you. What they're doing is they're basically learning everything that you do so they can earn more money. So it's all about advertisement for them. So there's the big difference between both countries, the two most powerful countries in the world, how they're using AI. And it's frightening. It really is frightening. If they take it further, it's going to be very frightening. We're going to be categorized, and we're not going to have free speech. It's all going to be locked down. It might be a better life. Who knows? I don't know, but it's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing,
I used to work in technical support, and one of the things that I used to think of was the fact that people who own computers should have a license to own them, because they are a dangerous weapon, and I think, well, that too, I mean, God, could you imagine me, you and me going around in school with a phone? I mean, that would have been, we were in trouble for a calculator, I remember getting a calculator watch, and I wasn't even allowed to use it, I was like, what's the point,
But they allowed them to use calculators in exams now, don't they?
They do.
That's not crazy.
Cruel Birab.
Because they're so dumb, Ian. The kids are dumb.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Cruel Birab, that sounds like they have their social apps for tracking, monitoring, and calculating your worth.
Yeah, it's called TikTok.
But it is very frightening, though, when you think about it. It's very frightening that they can actually know everything that you do. The algorithm, they can study the algorithm and know everything that you're doing. But also they can manipulate votes. They can manipulate how you spend your money. They can take your money anytime they want. if they want, and also they can track you anywhere you go. So freedom and freedom of speech is slowly being annihilated, you know.
So
And,
what you're
yeah.
saying, it may be advantageous to put all your money under your bed.
Well, look, they're trying to get rid of physical stuff, right? So they're trying to stop you from going to the shops to feel an actual orange you're going to buy, right? They're trying to stop you from watching stuff they don't want you to watch. Like DVDs are going to be eliminated, Blu-rays, your physical media is going to be eliminated. All anything that you buy is going to be owned by them. So in other words, you're not really buying it. Like, for instance, there's a show called The Dresden Files on Amazon, and I really liked The Dresden Files, right? And I bought that on Amazon, but I don't own it because to watch it, I have to go on Amazon to watch it. So who owns
it's
what?
It's the same with digital comics.
Yep.
I
So
got
you're renting them.
That's right.
Yeah, I got the DC Comics app because I wanted to really read the Batman 66 when they finally got the rights back to that, and I wanted to read it because it was like one of my favorite artists, and that was doing the art for it. And I have to be online to read the book anytime I want, you know. And the fact is that it's like Apple. I don't even think Apple have their I haven't got an Apple phone anymore, but they got rid of iTunes and that, didn't they?
Yeah.
And so, you know, how does that work with, you know, when you want to download another your music that you paid for, you've lost completely, you know,
exactly,
because they've removed it. And it's
yeah, exactly. You're right, because like basically when I had my old phone, I was able to load all my music into my iPhone, and then as the phones got updated, they suddenly you can't do that anymore. So they're forcing you to join something like Amazon
same
Music
with the apps. Same with a lot of apps too. I mean, I used to play a lot of Apple games, and when you got the newer when the newer phones came out or whatever, they never upgraded the apps, and so you couldn't use the app with your newer phone.
Yep.
Because it wasn't made for it. So therefore, the money that you spent, like good money on it, you know, $10 or whatever for a game, you know, and you couldn't play it ever again. And it's like, well, you know, and you can't play it on, you know, your newer, because on your older phone, because when they update the phone itself, the firmware,
I've had that.
They don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't allow you to continue using what you paid for. You know, there were some fantastic games that I paid for, and I'll never ever get to play them again.
It's a backdoor way of making you buy the new technology.
Well, yeah, but it's not only that, but it's the fact that the apps aren't even updated. The manufacturers have gone out of business, or you know, they just don't bother with updating it. They move on to another app or another game or whatever.
It's disrespecting the consumer, isn't it? When you think about it, that's all it's doing. It's disrespecting.
Throwaway, isn't it? It's throwaway.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. But even physical media now, Ian, like physical media, like if you buy a video game, right? As soon as you buy a video game, a modern game, I don't know if you're into video games or whatever, but when you buy a modern disc, when you actually buy a physical disc, right, all it is it's granting you permission to use that game. That's it. It's downloading everything from the internet.
I did not know.
And you use that. This is modern games.
This is all the new this generation stuff then, isn't it?
Yeah, so if it's like PlayStation 1 games or something like that, you will get away with it because it never had internet back then. But for all the modern games, it is a key to access that game. So you put the game in, and then because you may get it a bit cheaper or something off Amazon.
A dongle, yeah.
Exactly. But it doesn't even have anything on it. It's just a little key to say, hey, this person's actually bought this game, and you have to download the rest. So if, say, 20 years time, you go to play that game on whatever system, you can't, because more than likely you can't download it anymore. So it's an absolute waste of. So you're stuffed either way. You know, if you buy the game digitally, you don't have anything, you know, like physical. And then if you buy it, you know, physically, you don't have anything to you know, because once you put it in, they'll probably say, oh, you know, it needs an update or something, and you can't update it.
Yeah, it's this. I mean, I've noticed that recently. You know, when I noticed it is when I went into McDonald's once. I noticed that they don't like the consumer anymore. So I went into. Let me explain this, right? So I went into McDonald's and I went up to the counter and I said, "Can I have some? Can I have the Big Mac meal?" No, the Big Mac meal. So they said, okay. So I paid for the Big Mac meal, and I said, "Oh, you forgot the drink." And they went, "No, you have to go to that machine and get the drink." And so when I looked across to the machine, there was a queue. So I said to the woman, okay, so I just bought a drink. I waited 15 minutes to get to the counter. Now I have to wait another 15 minutes to get to the machine to pour my own drink out, when before you used to pour the drink for me. I now have to do your job. It's crazy. And not only that, now, and that was like, what, 10 years, 5 years, actually 10 years ago. And now I went recently into McDonald's. No, you have to do it yourself. They have this big thing machine up, and you have to type it in, find your drink. You're doing their job. All they do now is pack the stuff for you and give it to you. So that's how it's changing. They're basically instead of giving you stuff because you're paying for it, they're literally saying, right, well, you're going to pay for it, but you're going to do the job to get it. Now,
apparently,
doing.
Apparently, on the McDonald's touchscreens, there is fecal matter on most touchscreens.
Oh,
well, there you go.
Definitely. Well, the thing is, though, they're hoping that you will actually use your phone and the app on your phone to order the stuff. That's what they're hoping. So if you just happen to waltz in, you know, you have to use the screen. But they're hoping that you use the app. I don't know what the deal is with the apps, but they're trying to push the apps.
Yeah.
To
Witherspoons in the UK have been doing that type of, you just go in.
Is that the name of it, Wetherspoons?
Yeah, Wetherspoons.
You
just go in.
What is that?
It's a big pub chain. You go in, open the app, it arrives. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of them. I don't know if do they do the outside delivery as well now over there. Like, do you have to go outside and park outside and they'll come out to?
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they still do that. They still do that. But what I'm saying is that I've noticed things like that. Like when I went to pay my mortgage, it's been 5 years ago. Usually, just go in there, give them my money. She'll type it all in, say, right, it's all paid. Thank you, bye. Once I went in there and I said, well, here's the money. And the woman went, yeah, thanks. And she went, you have to go over to that counter there, get an envelope out, put the money in the envelope, write on the envelope how much it is, and push it through that letterbox. And I stood there and I'm like, so I'm doing your job then. Do you know what I mean? I've been noticing that as the years went on. I'm doing your job. Before, you used to write all that stuff down.
There's a lot less people
now
there.
You're making me do your job. I should be getting your pay.
There's a lot less people nowadays, though, Ian. There's a lot less people. Like, as far as, you know, they're just not employing the people anymore. They just want to make it more robotic. And, you know, I mean, I've noticed it over here too. Everything's just, you know, there's less and less people every time I go into a shop.
It's like with banks. I have got several checks in my wallet, but there's no banks Santander around here for me. And it seems to me that banks are getting closed all the time. And I always had this idea of why didn't all the banks, you know, like TSB, Nationwide, Yorkshire Bank, Midland, or whatever you call them, Santander, just basically rent one building between them per town? Because that'd be more cost effective, because there's more people. There's people like you and I, and like my father, who would go into a bank to pay stuff in. But they're just getting rid of all that. And they always make excuses though people don't use the facility and stuff. Why don't they just buy one building in each town and then share the building, share the costs, and then everybody's happy? But I can't understand why they've never thought that.
Now you see what another thing that made me laugh as well a couple of years back, actually more than a couple of years back, is when they were
Daniel.
everybody was going on about how much power
Hey, Daniel.
that we were using, like, you need to switch your light off. We're using too much power. When you go to bed, you switch all the lights off and stuff like that. And then you walk in the town at 1 o'clock in the morning and every light in every office is on in London town.
That is,
so it's my fault that the power, we're losing a lot of power. It's my fault.
Turn the lights off,
turn the lights off, mate.
Turn the fucking lights off. Yeah.
It's my fault now. I've been noticing that as the years have gone on. That's how they've been trying to
turn the fucking lights
take the
off.
power back. Yeah.
Hang on. Sorry. Do you mean to tell me they don't have gas lamps anymore?
Guest lamps. They do have guest lamps.
I'm just being cheeky. I'm just
as I said, I've just noticed that it's basically huge companies that basically, if you go back, I don't know, maybe 50 years, it was always the customer's always right, and we need to facilitate the customer. That's how we get their money. Now it's like, we have your money, we own your money, we own your property. That's what they own
your ass.
Yeah.
It's the same with, you don't own anything. You don't own anything. You it's everything is borrowed. You pay for the, it's like what do you say? It's sort of like you've got it on rent. You just rent it.
Hire purchase.
Yeah. That's basically what it's about. So, as I said, it's we're living in a weird time.
You don't own your house. You don't really own your house because you're still paying. You're still paying the local councils to actually, to have a property. Yeah. And here anyway, and I don't know how it works over there, but like we have to pay, $400, $500 of the privilege of living in the suburb, per month, per few months. So it's like. I mean, we got our my family sort of live on a large property, and we had to subdivide it. And when we went to go and subdivide, the councils, they said, right, this is how much you'll need for us for you to subdivide. So that we make more properties, and we're pretty much doing it for them, where they're going to get more money because we've made more properties, than just the one property. But anyway, they showed up one day, and we'd had to get a loan, and they showed up one day, and they said, oh, and by the way, it's $18,000 extra for just the fact that you're going, because you're going to sell these properties? You're going to sell these properties? And it's like, well, yeah. And they said, oh no, that's another $18,000. For to sell them, if you plan to sell them, you need to pay us, and it's like, for fucking what? What have you done? You've done fuck all, And this is just what And my parents are elderly, and
it's like the mafia.
To this day, I think exactly.
Everybody gets their cut.
So, my parents had to borrow more money to pay these fuckers who had done fuck all.
Yeah, that's the way it's going. That's the way it's going, pal. But anyway, so what? When it really takes hold, I'll be dead. So there you go. So good luck to the next generation.
You really want me to go down this
route? Always being optimistic there, Mega Geek. That's why we get you on.
I can tell you now, Ian, that even though you think you own your plot for where you're going to be buried, you don't.
Yeah, no, I know. But it's not going to matter to me, is it? Because I'll be dead, so it's not going to matter to me.
The fact of the matter
Selfish
is,
bastard.
but even in death, though, Ian, you can't be left alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And the fact is that people pay for their funerals, and they still have to pay after their funerals. You know what I mean? Like after they die, they still are paying for the funeral.
Tax and everything. Yeah.
We understand that. Definitely.
Yeah. But it's just the fact that it's it just makes me so mad. The fact that they bleed you dry. They just the government and the local government and everybody's wanting a piece of you. And that's exactly right. You're right there too. Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
It's mafia.
It's like
Mafia.
if you not noticed that companies, right, they basically are very clever. Like, for instance, Airbnb. Now, Airbnb, right, they don't really have an office. Okay, they don't have any staff. Well, they do have a few people, whatever. But it's the idea that there's nothing tangible. There's nothing that you can walk into. You can't talk to anyone. You know what I mean? You rent somebody's house, right? They get a cut. The person that owns the house gets a cut. So it's not like you're going to a hotel. A hotel's a physical thing. You go to the hotel, you go up to the counter, you pay your money, you get a room, right?
It's a clever business model.
Yeah, Airbnb is taking. It's the same thing with Uber as well. Uber doesn't. I think it has one small office somewhere.
They're like clearing houses,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah, it's what I'm
Online
saying. So
clearing houses.
That's the way. I mean, somebody that thought that up is pretty clever. Actually, it's pretty clever.
Oh yeah,
that
they
you
had,
don't
they had a
really-
good day that day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Top
that's
of
where
their
business
game.
is going. Business is going where we are the business. You want our business, right? You have to listen to what you have to comply to what we want so you can have our business. In the old days, it was, here's our business, give us some money, we'll try and please you. But they've taken out "we're trying to please you" bit out of the actual.
That's like
thing
Hollywood,
itself.
isn't it?
Yeah. So that's where everything's going now, right? We made this film, we made Star Wars. You're gonna like it. You don't like it? Too bad. Too bad. We're still gonna shove all
You're
our
a
politics
Yahtzee.
into you. Yeah. We're gonna call you everything
Some
under the
people
sun.
like it. Some people like it, and we like them. But we
like
don't
jerk
like you
chicken.
'cause you
You're
don't
a
like it.
racist.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So it's that's the way it's going now, and I hope somebody is strong enough and clever enough to stop this.
I can't.
But it
see
doesn't seem
happening, though.
likely. Yeah, it doesn't seem likely. There you
I
go.
mean, but then again, they probably said that about the hippies back in in the 60s.
But what,
They said they're growing everywhere. We just can't stop them.
no, well, that's different. With the people that the reason why these things are happening is because it's obvious. It's because powerful people is allowing these things to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the most powerfulest people in the world, like the guy who runs Microsoft, I wouldn't be surprised if he's behind some of this. You know, if he's making billions, he's not going to care.
Bill
Is he?
Gates.
He's not gonna care. Yeah, Bill Gates. He's not going
Yeah,
to care.
I had my tracking implant put in 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I you know, if these people are aware of what they're doing, they can only be described as evil, because that is a horrible thing to do to any person, to control them, to make sure they don't.
It's a strong.
Do you
it's
think
very
it could
strong
be the-
though.
Hmm?
It's a very strong word, that, saying they are evil.
Well, what
Do you-
would you call it if you're manipulating someone and making them
Do
do
you-
exactly what you want, and taking away their rights and taking away their thoughts?
You know what I think
would
it
you call
is?
that?
You know what I think it is? The Illuminati.
Well, it's some organization. No matter if they're under Illuminati or they're under any kind of name, it's an organization of powerful people that own
You-
billions. That's what's happening.
You know what
They're
it used to
probably
be?
like-
You know
they're
who
probably
they
like
used to blame?
pizza
The
as well.
Catholics. They used to blame the
Yeah.
Catholic Church. They used to say the Catholic Church runs everything, you know, and they don't now, do they?
Well, as I said, it's a strange world we live in now, and I can see where it's going, and I really don't like it. But you know, my dad didn't like the way my generation was going, so you know, it's just the thing, really. You know, as I said, you never know if all is said and done, and they're in control of everything. Life might be better. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
if you don't have much to think about.
Yeah, but you'll be dead by then. That's what you've said.
I will. So it's not really.
You heard it here first, folks. The Mega Geek will be dead.
Yeah, but
But,
they
you know-
they might stuff you for posterity though, Ian.
But it won't be me that be suffering. It's be my relatives, I guess.
It'll be Daniel Leach. The what's he say? The world.
world is
I
fucked.
think that's auto
Due to
spell.
both Bridges and far left.
Brigade.
But you know what?
It is,
right,
mate,
Brigade,
it is.
sorry, but,
The woke brigade, yeah.
But you know what? I don't
yes.
believe. I don't believe in the far left or the far right, or whatever. I don't believe in those categories. I believe that people are horrible. You know, those people that are horrible, that are doing things I just call them horrible. I don't really categorize them because I would not like to be categorized at all.
Who
So why should
politicians?
I categorize them? Yeah, they're idiots. That's
Are
all they
you,
are.
They are, but they're lawyers. What do you
I
expect?
assume you're very central these days, Ian.
What do you mean?
Centrist.
What does that mean?
Your opinions are kind of well. All right. Do you have liberal attitudes?
No, I have common sense attitudes. I don't know.
liberal.
I don't even
That's
understand what
liberal.
liberal means. You know, you're just categorizing me. Common sense is common sense. It doesn't matter if you're Labour or liberal or left or right. You know, to do something for the good of your fellow man. That's
Yeah, you're
just
same as
being
me.
good.
Yeah, you're same as me. It would be kind of classed as being liberal.
Well, yeah,
If you-
but
yeah, but
that's-
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
That's idiots that say that. You know, I'm sorry, but they're idiots that put you in different classes: left, right, liberal, you know, conservative, Labour. It's all rubbish. If people
Yeah.
fought for the betterment of mankind, womankind, or humanity, life will be better. But they're
There's
not. It's greed.
there's left and right, and somewhere in the middle is the truth.
No, well, the truth is the truth, no matter what anyone says. So, you know, that's the thing. And you could twist the truth, and you could lie, and you could make your lie believable to people. But at the end of the day, if you strip everything and you end up with the core, you'll find out what the truth is. But nobody's interested in doing that anymore. All they're interested in is money and beating people down, and making sure they're important. Yeah, it's all
They're
that
trying
nonsense.
to stop the lie, aren't they? They're all just trying to stop it. You know, with this whole, you know, like, so we're doing really, really well at the moment with, you know, with the Winter Soldier and everything, and apparently
Yeah.
it's not doing so well. You know, but like, there's no actual. There's no way of actually knowing that because
Yeah.
you're just going by what they're telling you.
Robert
You know,
Meyer
and-
Burnett is loving that at the moment. Sorry, mate.
Well, I mean, you know, it's his opinion. You got to respect his opinion, and if he likes it, that's fine.
He
It's
likes the
fine.
politics stuff. He thinks.
Well,
he
that's
said he
great.
thinks. Yeah, because obviously he's American.
Well,
he says it's bang on.
To be honest, I mean, the whole thing with the Captain America thing, you know, where they're like, I hate this guy. It's like, well, you're supposed to. That's the part. That's actually, if you read the comics, that's
Yeah.
actually one of the reasons why no one likes him is because he kills. And
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why Steve Rogers comes back is because, you know, he isn't right for Captain America. You know, that's the reason why he becomes US agent. But obviously, from what I've heard, he's going a bit mental.
The thing is, though,
And,
you know, if they put all this politics in our entertainment, it's having the opposite effect to people that have common sense. That's basically what it's doing, and they don't realize that, you know. But you know, it's their stuff. They pay for it. They can do whatever they
And
want.
they can lose money on it as well.
Yeah, and we have the choice to watch or not. That's our power, you know. And you know, I won't
Yeah,
be
but
watching season 2 of it.
they're still
'cause I didn't
making
like
the
this season
damn.
1.
They're still making the damn shows, even though that they're not doing very well. Look at Batwoman.
Well, look, you know, I don't care about Batwoman, and
rather not.
eventually.
No, I
Yeah,
don't either.
eventually-
But I'm just saying, though, this thing
Yeah, I
should have been
know.
shut down a long time ago.
I know, but you know what, right? This gets me onto another subject, okay, about the truth of it all. Okay, so when it came to the BAFTAs and the Oscars, listen how weird this sounds. Okay, so in the 40s and the 50s, we had a company called Rank that made really
Yes.
great films. You know, like
Jonathan
Lavender
Ross.
Hill Mob, Lavender Hill Mob, and stuff like
Used
that.
to have
right?
the loincloth guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so when we won best British film, it was a British film. It was, crew by British people, cast British people, financed by British people. And then something happened where basically Rank went down. And so British people couldn't make those kind of films. And so other companies came in and used us. You know, Americans come into our country and use our studios and
Star
make
Wars.
our films, whatever.
That's the thing,
And then
yeah.
and so we couldn't call a British film anymore. So they changed the rules in the Oscars or the BAFTAs. If a film wins British film, they have to have a percentage of people that are British in, making that film. That's why they call Star Wars a British film, because it really isn't a British film, really. Let's face it. And the point I'm trying to make is that's the lie, isn't it? That's the lie. When you tear it down, when you rip everything apart and you come down to the basics and you find out how much that film cost, how many British people was involved, blah, 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 you'll come to the conclusion it wasn't really a British film. That's my point about the lie, that people want you to accept the lie. They put all this stuff on top, and it's all it's coated with sugar. But when you scrape the sugar off, you find out the truth, and with everything that's happening today, whether it be movies, whether it be TV shows, whether it be politics, all I'm interested in is the truth. That's all I'm interested in. And it seems to be so hard to get to these days. It really does.
According to Cruel Birab, truth is the new hate speech.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Yeah, it's not good to actually speak out, is it?
Mm.
They can't handle the truth. The problem is they can't handle the truth.
Yeah, well, you're toxic.
Nothing is over.
Yeah, but go. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, Ian. You go.
No, saying,
you're so polite, you two.
No, but what is it? Going back to Winter Soldier. Yeah, I mean, they do have the politics about being black, and there's a black Captain America. But the point I'm trying to, there's nothing wrong with that. But the point I'm trying to make is, why have it in the first place?
Can you see?
Why have it?
Comment from Daniel. These people in charge of franchises don't understand they are temporary caretakers and not political activists. Boom.
Yeah, but they
have that.
Yeah, but you have to look at what's his name, that Alex Kurtzman, right?
Carry on.
Yeah. He took those Star Trek
Dirty
franchises,
words.
right?
Yeah.
No, he took them Star Trek franchises.
Fuck them up the arse.
And exactly, but it's all
without
about
protection.
Bloody money. It's not really so much the agenda in it. It's the money he was making out of it. They're making a fortune, because isn't he a part of Bad Robot?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, they are more into a corporation than they are about filmmaking. They are. They want a piece of everything.
Somebody 10, 12, 13 years ago at Paramount signed up with the devil, didn't they?
Yeah, well, what's shocking about it is they don't understand they're making bad TV. I mean, look at Picard. That was so bad. The writing was bad. The performances were bad. It was just bad all over. Yet if they cannot see that they're making bad TV, then there's no hope for anything in Star Trek.
Where's the money coming from, though?
Don't know. Organizations.
Sorry, Matt.
What really made me mad was the fact that Patrick Stewart was
complicit.
Patrick Stewart
was
exactly. He was complicit, and he just let it. And the fact is, even if they're bringing Q back into it, I mean,
John Delancey couldn't even save it. It's gone.
He's not even going to right the ship. It's just the fact that I'm not interested in it anymore. I got burnt in the first season, and I don't want to watch any more.
Did you watch all of it?
I did.
I did. Yeah.
I thought it'd get better.
Well, you two are better. You two are better men than I.
I have to admit. Look, at the end of it, I cried because Picard died, right? But then I went, they're going to do what? What the fuck? They're going to make him into a robot. And I'm like, and then suddenly, you wipe away the tears. Because I do cry at, like, certain shows and all that. Because you do get emotionally involved,
I cried.
And that, to me, is a good show. But I was emotionally involved with the character because I grew up with Picard.
The last time
he was my captain,
The last time I cried on TV was watching season 3 Banshee.
Right, okay.
I haven't seen that one.
Nor have I. I haven't seen season 3.
I cried. That's all I'm saying.
I cried at the movies for The Return of the King.
Matt, if you've not seen Banshee, check it out, mate. It's fantastic.
I will have to track it down.
Everybody
track
should
it
watch
down.
Banshee. It's incredible.
It's probably on one of my streaming services.
It's the bollocks.
It's
How are you,
Yeah.
how are you getting on with it, Ian? Are you kind of paused at the moment?
I'm paused at the moment because of work and other stuff that I have to see for other reasons and stuff like that. But I will go back to it. I'm constantly going back to it, so I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's very violent, but yeah, they will never
bit
make
off
shows
topic.
like that today.
It gets better and better.
A bit off topic, guys, but can I ask you, what do you think? I don't know if you've heard the news, but they're making a prequel to Mad Max.
I think it's a bad idea.
Angry Max.
Yeah, me too.
But you know the reason why I think it's a bad idea, because I thought the last one was a bad idea as well.
Chris Hemsworth.
Because because
He's no Mad Max. Sorry.
they didn't cast Mel Gibson in the last Mad Max film, which I understand why they didn't do it. But knowing George Miller, he fought for a lot of stuff, and he stuck his finger up to Hollywood. He should have literally got Mel Gibson back. He should have been an older Max, and what's her name? Charlize Theron shouldn't have been so. Where her name is. Shouldn't have been so prevalent in that film. It should have been about Mad Max.
What do you mean they're making another film about it now? Did you see that? They're still
That's
going
what I'm
ahead
saying.
with Furiosa.
Yeah,
they're still going ahead with that spin-off movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why? Because of what? Because
exactly. She was a strong female character.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but do it for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. And they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
But anyway,
and I mean,
whatever.
but the thing is though, like because our restrictions have eased to the point now where all the movies, all Marvel movies, all major movies are being made here now because it's not cheaper at all, but it's just the fact that it's a lot. They obviously want to produce things, but I don't honestly see the whole cinemas and everything opening up to full capacity again. I don't see it.
I kind of.
I think a lot of people are still scared, aren't they, to go?
I am, and I've got my vaccination.
You've got your tracking devices.
Yep.
I missed a comment from MC going back to when we was talking about left, right, central, blah blah blah. I think this word probably describes it perfectly, Ian.
What's that?
Humanist.
Yeah, I
Robert Meyer Burnett describes himself as a humanist as well, and I would probably say I do as well.
I said I think once they
categorize
you, you're in trouble.
I think when you categorize yourself, you're in trouble, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess.
No one can ever really say what they are. It's up to other people to say what you are. But even then, you may disagree with them, so you can't really win,
Daniel Leach in the chat. I assume some money's been swapped somewhere. Independent content creators such as yourself, Ian, are the way to go. God bless you, mate. Keep doing what you're doing. Checks in the post.
Oh, cheers, Daniel.
Yeah,
You're
thanks,
awesome,
Daniel.
Daniel, you've got to get on here one day.
Hail, Daniel.
Yeah. I look, I'm only one man, and my funds are limited.
Only one man.
My funds are limited, so I always do my best.
In a world where one man can make the difference.
Make a difference, yeah.
Make a Doctor Who fan film.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
How long's that for? Is that going to be like a half a minute, or is that going to be like a few minutes, or
my trailer?
Proof of concept, yeah.
No, it's not proof of concept. It's just a trailer.
Yeah,
it's only 30 minutes long. 30 seconds long.
I was going to say 30 minutes. Wow, cool.
It's literally 30 seconds
over and over. I would.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I can't afford to do anything longer than that.
No.
So 30 seconds. It's costing me more than I thought.
I had this guy approach me for an animated series because they liked one of my concepts. And it was going to cost me 15. Yeah, well, it was going to cost. This is like 10 years ago, but it was going to cost me $15,000 out of my own pocket for 30 seconds of animation.
Gee.
Well, it's not costing me that much, but you know, there are a lot of fans out there, but the problem is we're not united. So, like, I was asking a guy to do the effects for me, and he was saying, well, this is going to cost you this. I'm like, well, you know, if you're a Doctor Who fan, can't you not do it for me for free? I'll pay you a bit of money, but I can't afford. And obviously he bailed, and I understand that totally. But
have you sorted anybody then?
Yeah, I've got someone now.
Oh, well.
Someone now that's actually going to do the
professional?
effects. Yes, he is.
Good.
So I've got someone
Excellent.
that's actually going to do
Excellent.
the effects for it, and I'm looking forward to seeing
Do you
what he
need,
can achieve.
I can't wait to see
Do you
it.
need?
Ian. I really
Do you need?
As I said, anyone's my crew is tiny at the moment. It's only three.
volunteer.
Yeah, but
Three
you need
people.
a tea. You need a tea boy though, don't you?
And look, anyone that wants to help, they are welcome. They can help. You know, because I need help. But
We know.
yeah, but yeah. But if
We
just
could. Do you know what we could
See,
do,
this
Ian?
is the problem
We could
with.
stream.
I'm
We could
really
do a live
glad.
stream
well, you know what,
on
mate?
location.
I've had ever since I've said I'm doing this, I've had loads of offers for live stream, but you know, I've got to make the damn thing first. So
Daniel
know,
and myself should do it.
it's going to make the damn thing.
I'm really glad that
Hail
you
them.
haven't gone down the Kickstarter route or
No, I will.
Indiegogo. You're actually doing it yourself. Yeah,
No.
I know. But
Okay, so the idea is that I'm going to make something, okay, and off my own back, and then if people see it and they like it, then that's when I'll
yes,
do the Kickstarter, because I've proved that
Go
I can
ahead.
do it. That's the same thing with Rebecca Gold. The reason why I made Rebecca Gold with my own money is to say this is what you're going to be paying for if you decide to help me in the Indiegogo campaign. This is the proof of concept.
what? Yeah, I believe me, I totally agree with you, and I think that it's great. You know, what I was saying was that it's those that I don't really do it. I don't really crowdfund. I don't pay for crowdfunding. The only thing I ever crowdfunded, and it really annoyed me, was the Dragon's Lair. They were actually going to make a little mini movie of Dragon's Lair, and anyway, I put, I think it was like nearly $200 into it, and all it ended up, they actually changed it halfway through what they were going to do with it, and all of a sudden it was going to be a 30-second trailer teaser for proof of concept, and it's like, well, that's not what I signed up for, you know. And it's like, well, you got your book signed by, you know, Don Bluth, who did the original, you know, and that's it, you know, you have no more say. And it's like, but that's not what you promised, you know, right. And also you had no, we've literally put the money into this. You had no, you didn't really give it. They didn't really want to do it, to be honest. But people were like, no, we want to see it, you know. And so that's the reason why they went forward with it. But it's been going on for years now. That's the thing. It's been going for like 4 or 5 years now of proof of concept, and we've still not even seen any trailer, teaser, or anything like that. And that's what I'm saying with you. At least you're, you know, you have passion in your project that you are willing to sacrifice, you know, so much of yourself into the project that you want to say, this is what I want to make. Have a look, guys.
And he knows more about the people who are making it currently.
If you want to see more, then, you know, help me fund it.
That's the idea. As I said, when I'm going to make Rebecca Gold 2, the idea is, okay, look, I've got some money to make season 2, but here's an Indiegogo campaign. You've seen the first one. If you like the first one, you can contribute, you know, as well. You know, there'll be gifts, you'll get a credit, blah, blah, blah. You know, but you've seen what I've done. You've seen the proof of what I can do. So it's up to you. And I don't understand it when people put something out in Indiegogo and they've got no proof that what they're going to cough up is what they're going to cough up. And that's the idea with the Doctor Who trailer. I'm not going to make a fan film if I don't have the money. Let's see what if the fans do care about seeing a real kind of representation of the Doctor, Let's see how much they care. You can talk the talk, but if you don't do the work, all I'm asking for is if 50 people give me $20 or 1,000 people give me $20, that's a good start. Do you know what I mean? Not asking them to give me millions. I'm asking them just to give me something you'll spend in the pub.
Every little bit.
Yeah,
helps.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, a cup of coffee,
A cup of coffee, like even when people do live streams and you can donate £2, 10 quid. I saw someone that donated to Gary's stream 1,000.
I know,
1,000. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's just madness. No, I'm sorry, that's just madness. That's just that. You just. I think to some degree, those sort of people want to be. They want to be noticed, and that
I think there's a lot of that brinksmanship.
They are so desperate to be noticed and wanted, and they'll do anything for it, even just throw money at them, And I feel guilty if someone gave you $1,000 and didn't expect anything in return. I would feel guilty as hell.
There is a bit of ethicalness going on there. Yes, it's a tricky one, that.
Yeah,
well, it's not only that. Yeah, no, sorry, you go.
No, as I'm saying, it's up to them really if they want to throw their money at Gary and stuff like that. But as I'm saying, I will not be making a Doctor Who fan film if people don't give me money to make it. That's the bottom line, because I can't afford it. I really can't afford it. So people have got to step up. If they like the trailer, then step up.
When did you say the trailer's being filmed?
It's beginning of next month. Sunday the 2nd. I'm filming.
You excited? Yes.
I'm kind of. We're sorting out the guy that's playing the Doctor. We're sorting out his costume, and we've come up with a good little costume for him. So it's going to be interesting to see what people. It's only going to be 30 seconds long. It's going to be laden with effects.
Great. It's going to be great to see
here's
Colin
hoping.
Baker's uniform again.
Well, as I said,
it's going to be great to see Colin Baker's uniform back again.
Yeah.
That'll go down well.
Ian, I've got a suggestion. What you should do is, why don't on your Rebecca Gold page put a pay me PayPal link?
No, not yet. I have to prove that. Look, once they see. Right, so once they see the person playing the Doctor, once they see the visual effects and stuff, they will judge it on that, okay? And if you want to see something of that quality as a fan film, closer to what you expect Doctor Who to be, then give me the money. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.
What would be can I just suggest something? I know you've probably already got that person already, in the role. But can I just say, for the Master, you need to get someone like James Dreyfus just to kick the BBC in the teeth.
Well, the thing is,
brilliant.
Though, I haven't finished the first draft. The first draft I think I've done of the fan film. I'm not going to do any more work on it because I'm not sure whether I'm going to make it, right? But I've got the story and everything. The Master's not in it. Daleks are not in it.
Great great Master.
None of the Doctor Who monsters in it, because I always believe that if you're going to start a new version of the Doctor, you should create new villains. Because
Idris Elba, the Master.
You shouldn't go backwards. You should refer to backwards, but not rely
I always hated the fact I had the Dalek in the first season. I was like, I know everybody likes Dalek. I know Daniel loves Dalek. And to me, I was just like, I know you guys just want to have a Dalek in there, but it's probably best if you don't even acknowledge the fact. I like the fact that they didn't acknowledge that there was a previous Doctor or previous villain or anything like that. They didn't do that,
No, but what I'm saying is that it's all right to refer to them, but to rely on it on your story. Yes. Like, for instance, the last one with Jodie in it was Daleks, right? But the thing is, though, if you look at the Russell T era and you look at the Moffat era, they created really good monsters. The Angels were really good monsters.
They're
Well,
coming back, aren't they?
and that's the reason why they're coming back is because they don't have any new ideas. That's the reason why they're coming
Bankrupt.
back. And that, exactly. You need to create real monsters, real scary monsters, new monsters, so that it can be linked to that era. The Angels will forever be linked with David Tennant Doctor and the Matt Smith Doctor. And that's a good thing.
Well, to be honest, I didn't even think they needed to be in the Matt Smith era.
You're. I think you're right there.
What's the? There was an episode where the Angels were on a. It was with River Song, wasn't it? They were on a spaceship, and it was.
Yeah.
That was a great
one. River Song.
They were
I
great.
hate River Song.
Yeah, I don't like Rivers. She outstayed her welcome. River Song. Definitely.
I'll just quickly go back to the chat. Daniel Leach, what's the actor's name so I can do my research?
No, you're not gonna. You're not gonna know. You're not gonna know until. You're not gonna know until.
Not even you, Daniel.
It's the actress that played Rebecca Gold.
no, it's a geezer.
That'd be a delicious irony. That would.
It's a geezer that's playing.
leaving one role to do another one. That would be very good irony.
Well, the thing is, though, I don't think Katie's. Katie's still my friend, but she's got other plans. That's what happens.
We need a man back into it.
Yeah, I think
we need a man in it.
Yeah, I've got an actor playing the Doctor, and
he's male, Daniel. It's male.
Is he toxic?
No.
Is he transgender?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. Is he neutral?
Richard.
Is he gender neutral? Come on, we need to know.
You said Richard Dreyfuss.
You got to have a carrot
as the master would be fantastic.
Who's Richard Dreyfuss? Richard Dreyfuss from Close Encounters.
Oh, you. Pot. Who did you say? You said
James Dreyfuss.
James.
Who's James Dreyfuss?
Different beast. Sorry, folks.
He was actually Ian. He was the master in the Big Finish audios, and then they removed him because of his because they thought he was against trans people, and he wasn't at all. But they have literally wiped him off all of Big Finish, and he's a really good actor. He is, and they had him cast as the very first Master incarnation, and so they did all this. They did all this thing where they had the whole group of Daniel could probably explain it better, but they had this whole group of Masters all come together, from all the decades, but they didn't have him in it, and he's like, "Where am I?" And then anyway, he contacted them, and they never got back to him. They never got back to him,
A master debate. Did they have one?
He found out that he'd been replaced. He'd literally been replaced.
You know what? Right? Seriously, this is the kind of stupidness that's in our TV stuff now. I mean, people are entitled their opinions, right? By shunning someone and cancelling them is not the way to go. It never is.
I'm not sure what had happened, but I believe that he signed a petition to support J.K. Rowling, and that was the thing. I don't know what's going on because I don't like J.K. Rowling. I think she's a hack, but I apparently that's what it was. They actually put their name to a petition, and to say that they were supporting her, and that's where the whole thing has steamrolled.
I scrolled through to the chat an hour ago. Cruel Birab. Opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah, we all have. And it's, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say. Everything that I've said is just my opinion, and it should stay that way.
But you know what, Ian? Ian?
Yeah.
I respect your opinion.
Well, you should respect everyone's opinion, no matter what they say. That's called freedom of speech. That's the whole point of freedom of speech.
Right, and I mean, the fact is that if people attack you for your opinion,
nobody's got any respect anymore. It's a respect. Nobody's got respect.
Yeah, you
No.
should. You should be allowed to say what you want to say without being cancelled.
There should be a kind of unconditional respect for people, but I think respect went
But the
out
problem
the window
is they're all
long ago.
faceless. They're all faceless now. That's the thing. It's like, you know, you don't put your name. People don't put their name to it. People don't put their faces to it. You know, you have people in masks, literally in masks, you know, going under a pseudonym or something. And you just go, you know, if you have a conviction, show yourself. Be who you are.
Have
you
balls.
know? And to me, you know,
Cojones.
these people that are like, well, I understand you have to protect your family. It's a very tricky situation where internet people can actually find out where you work and cause all sorts, because I've actually seen it happen where people will ring up other people's jobs and, you know, try and cause trouble. And, you know, say, oh, such and such is, you know, doing this or such and such is doing that, you know, and they, you know, anonymously. And it's just the fact, it's like, what do they call it? What do they call it when you, squatting? Not squatting, swatting. Swatting. That's it. Not squatting.
Swatting.
That's what you do on the toilet, mate.
Yeah, only women though. But anyway, so swatting is when they call up people and you know, they call up the police and they tell them that, you know, they're holding people hostage or whatever. And, you know, people have died through that. And that I understand it's a dangerous, you know, web sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. And as I said, it's just life is just so complicated these days, mate. I'm telling you right now, it really is incredibly complicated. But you know what, right? So what? I'll just keep creating. I think that's what I live for, just to create stuff. And
you're lucky you get to, you know.
Well, anyone can really.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
anyone can.
Daniel in the chat. The Big Finish story Matt is talking about was the box sets. 50th. Sorry, was the 50th box set the anniversary?
The Master was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has he been on TV? This fella then, the guy who plays the Master.
Oh, he used to be in Gimme Gimme Gimme.
Oh,
it is him.
Him.
Yes. It'd be fantastic. Him as the Master.
Yeah,
would be amazing.
Really
Thin Blue Line.
amazing.
He used to be in
Thin Blue Line.
Thin Blue, the Thin Blue Line. He was very funny in that.
And
he.
What was that other program he was in with?
He actually, Ian. He's got a story. He actually was talking
Was
to
it
that Graham
Gimme Gimme? He was in.
Yes, he was in that.
Yes, he was. But he's just done he's just talking to that Graham Linehan, the one that wrote the IT Crowd and Father Ted.
Yeah.
And he was actually explaining to him that he'd actually done a Big Finish with Tom Baker. And it still hasn't been released. So whether or not they're going to actually re-edit it so that he is no longer the Master and they're going to put someone else in there, it's possible. But, you know, it's just the fact that they have literally wiped him from any sort of
What was the reason
future.
again? Sorry, Matt. Why have they?
He supported J.K. Rowling.
Oh, God.
He supported J.K. Rowling, and it's just really about. I believe in the UK there was a thing with trans people wanting to use the same lavatories and that as women and that sort of thing. And of course, you know, it's like, well, no, they can have their own, you know, and it's like, well, no. So whatever J.K. Rowling said about trans people, you know. But anyway, so anyway, that's the reason why he got cancelled. And he literally has been cancelled, you know, he's not been able to work.
I think he's really funny in the Thin Blue Line, wasn't he? He was one of those people,
Constable,
you know.
Goody,
yeah. He was, and also, right? I'm guessing here, is he gay in real life?
Yes.
Right. That's the whole point was that he's gay in real life, but yet he fancied who's the police officer in that? Habib,
Yeah, that's
Constable
her.
Habib,
Yeah.
whoever her name was. Yeah. So, but that's
Yeah.
the thing. You see, he was a gay man, and he was allowed to play a straight man in a
Yeah.
sitcom, and now you can't
Yep.
do that. It's just so stupid. The
Well,
way
he
people
also
think.
there was that recent comment by what's his name, Davies, the one that did Russell T Davies,
Yeah.
and he said about gay men should only play gay men,
Yeah, I know that's stupid
and
too.
he actually came out. Yeah, well, he actually came out and said, "That's not, that's so stupid that gay men can only play gay men and straight people can only play straight people."
Daniel,
and then he
Daniel,
got a lot of trouble for that too.
Daniel in the chat. Dreyfus and Gareth Roberts were cancelled a couple of weeks apart.
Wow.
Dreyfus would make a fantastic master, but he's got to camp it up.
The thing
He
is,
already
though,
has. That's the thing. He's already done it.
I'm
And he
a
was
huge
a
fan-
huge-
I'm in.
I'm a huge fan
already
of the
was,
I'm a huge fan of the what's his name, the original master. I like the master in
Phil
John
Delgado.
Pertwee. Yeah, I really
my
like
God, yes.
his master. I think his master was intelligent and he was also very clever what he was doing, stuff like. And when they made him into a madman that wanted everybody
Mainly.
to look like him, I just thought that was so stupid and really insulted the memory of the master, the real master, in my opinion.
Well, I
it's
always
Canadian
thought
Spider-Man.
that, all masters
Yeah.
look like they had beards, To me, the
But,
only
yeah.
one just looked like a bit of a rip of Delgado.
I do like the idea that he looked evil, and he did act, and he was evil. The master in the John Pertwee era, he really was. I mean, he's what he was doing was calculated, and and he was very very theatrical. And I like all that stuff. I think that's really great. I hated the John Sims master because it made no sense what he was doing. He was just a madman.
But that wasn't just a madman. That was just someone that was on some sort of drug, and it was just the fact that he was totally. I mean, I can understand that he's unbalanced, but it was just the fact that that the actual character was just so manic, and
What was
just,
the
he really
what's
got
the
on
guy
my ear.
in the Jodie era? Sasha.
Yeah, I don't like him.
The
'Cause
one.
he just copied Sims. That's all he did. So it just.
Yeah, why
what's
are they
the
all
point?
mad like that?
Exactly.
Now they're all crazy manic people, and
Yeah.
it's just like
Needs to go camp.
to me, he was like, no, he should have been straight like Delgado. I mean,
But-
Delgado never ever did that.
What
That
That
about
just goes to show they didn't have
Hugh
any
Laurie?
imagination. They
Hugh
don't have
Laurie
any
as the master?
imagination. No, Hugh Laurie would be a good doctor, but it's too late now. He played. If you watch him as House, and his whole attitude would have been if he was instead of House, if he was
Yeah,
the
it's
doctor,
like
that
Doctor,
would have
yeah.
been brilliant.
He
Absolutely
only
brilliant.
got that role of what's the name of that author? He played that author, the gay author.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
only
yeah.
got that role because he looked like him. That was it.
Yeah.
And then you look at the movie. The movie was shit.
Oh, you're
Um,
talking about. You're not talking about Hugh Laurie. You're talking about the other one.
Oh yes, sorry.
What's his name? The one that we Fry, Stephen Fry.
Fry.
You're talking about Stephen Fry.
I
yeah.
get them two mixed up.
Right. Yeah,
They
Stephen
work
Fry.
together. So
Was Stephen Fry in the episode where who says she's an
Yes.
upgrade?
Yes, he was.
Jesus.
That was the fella.
That was the
he was
slap
supposed to
in the
write
face,
a couple of
wasn't it?
episodes too. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of those. I haven't seen it. I feel so sorry for you, Ian, that you actually had to go through those.
Well, as I said, I love Doctor Who, and I wanted Doctor Who to work with the Jodie character, but it didn't. It's obvious that it didn't. So what else can you say? Really, it really
Yeah, but
didn't
the thing
work.
is, though, like, why did they make him a man again? Why didn't they just make him a woman? And that way, they had two women against each other. But I guess that was just too much for them.
No,
They had
and-
to have one woman
Does,
versus a man.
yeah.
The Doctor's been cast. Is that correct?
No, there's a rumor that Scottish girl is going to be the next Doctor.
Kelly MacDonald.
Yeah, that's a rumor.
Is she pretty?
She's not bad. She's in Line of Duty at the moment, and she's a good actress. But I think if she did Doctor Who
See, to me, Olivia Colman's not
I'm
pretty, and they wanted her
sorry,
to be the doctor.
Kelly. I think it'd be a career ender for you.
It will
That's
be
just
for
me.
her.
It's
it
a
will be.
career ender for anyone.
I would
Yeah.
avoid Kelly MacDonald if you're watching this. Avoid it.
Somehow I don't think
Only
she'd
if
watch-
if Chibnall's writing, avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's better.
he doesn't know any of those, does he? He doesn't know any of those people. You know who would have made a great doctor? Keely Hawes.
I buy into that. Yeah,
I personally, if I was in charge, and I would have cast.
Michael Palin.
No, if I had to cast a woman, I would have cast the girl that played Captain America's sweetheart. What's her name? I can't
Oh,
remember.
Haley Atwell.
Haley Atwell.
Absolutely.
Or
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Or
Yes,
Gillian
please.
Anderson. Or Gillian.
She would have
Anderson.
worn a dress too. You know it.
I would have
Gillian
cast
Anderson has been
Gillian
brilliant.
Anderson as well. If I had to cast someone, I would have cast Gillian Anderson.
Because technically she is British.
Kind of British.
Well, she's
I
lived in
don't-
Blighty all her life, and she's got an English accent. She's got English parents.
She has, but well, I don't know. But she would make a really good doctor because she's quite
would.
a great
She's
actress.
great.
She's hanging out with David Duchovny again, so I don't know if they're doing
is she?
another X Files. Yeah. She just posted a photo with Duchovny dropping by.
All
So-
right. Oh,
She looks great, but David Duchovny, he's
She's
aged
60
badly.
now, isn't she? She's
Yeah.
60.
He's
Crazy.
aged badly, old David.
Gillian Anderson, I think
He could
she's
never
the
shake it.
I think she's the same age as me.
How old is she? 50s? She must be in her
I think-
50s now.
Yeah, 50,
No,
51.
she must be older than. No, she's older.
Anybody in the chat, start earning your money, boys. How old
I can
is
find out for you right now. Born in 1968.
same age as me then?
Yeah.
Okay.
52.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not bad.
Okay.
So I was right.
Not bad at all.
MC.
She looks great though. She looks
MC,
absolutely-
I'm up for a bit of Hayley Atwell, as we
I
said
know.
on Saturday night. We all are, mate.
I still need to see her show. I've got it on DVD, but I've never actually watched Agent Carter because
watched-
it ruined it. Because I wanted to hold back until there was a fair few, and then I had
Yeah.
a funny feeling they'd cancel it. I really did.
I watched a couple of episodes and it wasn't all that bad actually.
Yeah, it's
And then,
not bad.
and then it got cancelled, didn't it?
Got cancelled big time, yeah. Got definitely cancelled. But you know
Yeah.
what?
She
there
was
was-
in that show with Netflix, Criminal, I think it was called, where
Yeah,
they did
she-
that
yeah.
thing, and like she wasn't wearing any makeup, and I'm like, oh, no, darling, you need makeup, sweetie, because you're looking a bit wrinkly. I was like, oh, you're looking a bit aged, darling.
I'll just say for people who are watching this live, we used to do Nooners a couple months ago, and the Nooners UK, while everybody was on lockdown, was quite popular, and we've had good numbers watching this. So I think what we may do is kind of reintroduce either the Nooner or the Nooner +1, basically 1 p.m.
The reason why they're watching this is because of Matt.
Well,
Matt's got
yeah,
a huge
'cause
fan base.
yes.
I know,
Huge
I'm
fan
massive.
base.
I'm massive. Yeah, it's because of my
we've heard.
Australianism.
We've heard.
What are you saying?
So I think what we may do is because
You saw photos, didn't you?
we have viewers get used to being people are creatures of habit, aren't they? So I think we may kind of try and give the Nooner or the 1 p.m. a go, see what happens. So yeah, we'll try that. I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we
guys?
need to get a girl to working on him.
Yeah, we've been.
But let's get Daniel on next time round as well.
Yeah,
If
Daniel.
he wants to come on.
It's up to Mr. Brown, of course, but
Anybody,
I
mate.
think,
As I said, it's
I'd love to have Daniel on here.
listen.
I haven't done a stream with you yet, Daniel. So I'd love to do a stream with you, mate.
Yeah, anybody's listen. Anybody on YouTube is welcome to come on.
Absolutely, that's
Anybody.
true.
And I mean that,
except for
anybody.
assholes.
Well, that's everybody then. 'Cause yeah,
Oh no, only a select few that I deem assholes.
Well, you know,
yeah,
it's-
I know.
as I said, it's Doctor Who's close to my heart, and I just want this.
It is too.
I want
Me too.
I want Doctor Who to get better. I
It
don't
broke
want
me.
it to be. Yeah, well, it broke a lot of
It
people.
was,
broke
the
me.
chimp broke you as well, didn't it?
No, well, I was just surprised by the chimp. I didn't expect the chimp to be in a unit because to me that was animal cruelty.
Of course it is.
I was just like, because I mean,
It'd
you're
never
putting a
get made
friggin'
today.
mask on a claustrophobic ape or whatever. That's crazy. Yeah, I always thought it was a person, so that's why I was like surprised by it. But that's what happens when you see behind the scenes. Sometimes you're just better off not seeing them.
It's true. My dad
Going
always
back-
used to say that spoils the magic if you watch behind the scenes. He always used to say that to me when I'm watching behind the scenes. You're spoiling the magic, Ian. You're spoiling the magic.
You know what, Ian? You know what stopped me from watching behind the scenes? It's
What's that?
the Star Wars prequels.
Oh,
Watching those
God, yeah.
documentaries. Watching those documentaries and just seeing George Lucas and
Just
everybody
as-
just saying
just as-
yes to him. You know?
just as you said that, I put Krual Birab's comment up. It was Star Wars for me.
Yeah. Well, it was really the prequels, like watching any of the making ofs for the prequels. I haven't watched any of the making ofs to do with the sequels.
Yeah.
I've not watched any of that. I'm just not interested. I think J.J. Abrams is a piece of shit. I think honestly he
Cinematic
should.
Antichrist.
Well, no, it's just the fact you can tell that he's into them. He just wants the money. He just wants the company, his company, to flourish. And I reckon, I know that this might be a bit of
How much money does he want, though?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I
understand?
know this may be a bit of a
Yeah.
stretch, but I think he wants to go for the Disney type. He wants to become something a bit like Disney, where they become a conglomerate. I have
Right,
a suspicion
get you.
that may be the case. So, because I mean, if you look at it, he's got the franchises, he's got Star Trek, Star Wars. It's not working
Yeah,
out.
but he's
but,
bummed
you know,
a lot
he's-
of them, though.
And now he's on to DC. He's got his son into
$500
Marvel.
million.
That got me when he got his son into Marvel. And I
Krual
was just like, yeah.
Birab. I liked JJ's Alias series.
I liked JJ's Fringe, but it wasn't JJ's Fringe. It was Orchie. Orchie was the man that was coming up with the ideas and writing and stuff like that. And they completely
Robert
eliminated him.
Orchie, yeah.
Yeah. So he was the one with the talent, and then you had JJ and who's the other fella that did the Star Trek, the new
Damon
Star Trek.
Lindelof.
No, the new Star Trek. Klutzman.
Yeah.
So it was JJ Klutzman and Orchie, and it was obvious Orchie was the talent out of the three.
Orchie was going to start direct Star Trek 3, wasn't he? And they sacked him off.
He most of his ideas got stolen for Discovery. So Orchie's really upset.
And
with them.
he's Robert Orchie's in the wilderness now, isn't he?
He is, yeah. That's what I'm saying. So
And he's a talented bloke.
He is very talented, and they screwed him basically. So there you go, life, Hollywood,
He would have made.
You know what?
He would have made a great showrunner for Strange New Worlds.
Well, I don't think they should make Strange New Worlds. It's rubbish.
It's been made anyway, so it's been made at the
So
moment.
they say-
I didn't. I stopped
It is.
watching Discovery when it came to that point, so I don't know.
It's
I mean,
not real,
I think
it's not real
that
Star Trek.
yeah, but that chick in it, fucking hell, she's nice. Number one, fucking
one.
hell, bloody oath. What's her name? The one that was on with John
Rebecca
Stamos.
Oh man's
The one that was on John Stamos. Now she's on with the guy from Sliders, Jerry O'Connell.
Rebecca
And-
Romaine.
Remain, yeah.
Yeah.
She is
she's a
very
MILF.
attractive. Yeah,
She's a MILF.
lovely.
She's
She's
a
lovely.
MILF.
Lovely.
She was the blue girl in X-Men, wasn't she? I can't remember the character.
Yes, she was in the original X-Men
Yes, right. Yeah.
series. Yeah,
Daniel Leach. JJ misses the mark for me. Never liked him.
Daniel.
No.
JJ's got his own pop figure, so
I
once
think
you get your own pop figure, you're huge.
I did think that JJ had a lot of promise. He did a really good Mission Impossible film, which I really liked. Didn't like the ending. The thing about him is he can't really. He starts off with a good idea, but he can't finish it properly. You know, that's the problem.
He
with
knows
JJ.
that, though. You know what? He knows that. He actually knows that, Ian. He actually has stated that. Oh, yes. There's a perception that I start really well and then I can't finish things, and I'm like, well, it's
Like
Yeah.
me in
fix
bed.
it. You know, fix it.
Yeah, he keeps doing the same thing, doesn't
See you,
he?
Cruel.
But it's just the fact that he knows that he's bad. And
Well-
surely, you know, as a director, I mean, I don't know, I haven't been a director, but Ian, as a director, wouldn't you want to like work on being perfect?
yeah,
Like, you know, you want to be perfection. You know, you want to be the next Kubrick. Even though I hate Kubrick, but I understand why people like his artsy shit. But you know, it's the same with Scorsese. You know, you want to be a Scorsese. You want to be, you know, you want to go for being a Spielberg or whatever, and even Spielberg's a hit and miss. But at least you know he learns, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just the fact that wouldn't you want to learn from your mistakes?
well, he obviously doesn't want to. So,
No, because it's all about the money.
Because he doesn't need to.
well, you know, as I said, he started off well. I did like the Star Trek film he made. I thought that was quite good. But you know, he kind of went off the boil, didn't he? And got involved in the Star Wars thing and destroyed that. And you know, now he's going to destroy DC now, isn't he?
To be fair, I don't think he destroyed Star Wars. It wasn't him solely.
It was Roundhead Johnson that destroyed.
Yeah,
Star
it was.
Wars.
Yeah, it was Man Baby himself. Really, I think with JJ they tried to do damage limitations towards the end.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
And somebody has said on one of these streams, by trying to please everybody, he pleased nobody with the last film. But there you go.
well,
do you think if it? Sorry, Ian.
I was just saying he was on a hiding to nowhere, wasn't he? When he made that one.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Do you
mate.
think that if he did the middle film, J.J. Abrams, do you think if he did the middle film,
He should have just
that
done
it would
them
have
all.
been? Yeah, but do you think it would have been cohesive? Do you think
I
it would have?
think he had a plan, didn't he? He had a plan because there was going to be more done with Finn. And
Wasted
there
character.
yeah. So he had a plan, but it got scuppered by Roundhead, didn't it? So
Man Baby.
and then he was brought in to correct it, and there was no way you could correct it. Damage was done.
Yeah,
so.
but I mean, but the fact was that, you know, even with say like the character of Rey, where she knew everything, you know,
Yeah.
do you think in that middle film he would have explained it? Or do you think he would have thought that we're all so dumb, we're just dumb dickheads that, you know, we don't know what we're
No,
you know, what we're on and what we're
we'd have had the
watching,
training.
you know?
Yeah, there were reports that he was going to explain all that. There were reports. I think he had one of his ideas that Rey's family was someone special, and she was linked somehow. And he explained where the lightsaber came from, where they found and stuff like that. So he had explanations and stuff like that. But he wasn't truly in charge of the first one. He wanted the three to be together, as far as I remember, or some, you know, and it was Kathleen Kennedy that scuppered everything. Kathleen Kennedy was convincing everybody we need new characters, we can't do with the old and all that stuff. And so it really wasn't his fault, but then it was, because he actually complied. So it is his fault, if you know what I mean. If you can see that everything's going to shit,
Not
you're not
solely,
going to stay there,
not
are
solely.
you? Sorry, not solely, but
I realised they had no plan when
they had no
the
plan.
guy that played the guy that played Palpatine, when he came on stage and like he did that whole, you know, he had that little speech on stage at that Star Wars convention or whatever it was, when they revealed that he was in it. But he and then they turned around and he said, well, look, I'm not really in it. And then I was like, and then all of a sudden he was in it. And you're like, well, hang on a minute. He said he wasn't in it. He was definite that he's not in it. You know, it was just the fact that it was just a little thing that he did.
Easy paycheck,
you know,
for him, that.
And yeah.
Brucey
and
bonus.
obviously, you know, they changed it and put him center stage again. And it was just the fact that I was like, well, I knew that they didn't have a plan, but bloody hell, now they've just gone off the rails, off to the moon,
Well, they said that the second film was the first draft. The script that they had for the second film, it was just the first draft. They corrected a couple of things in the script, but more or less it was the first draft. And you could see it's the first draft because the stuff they did in it was absolute rubbish. I mean, that purple-haired woman, what a stupid plan. She got half of her crew killed.
Holdo.
What a stupid cow.
She should stick to starring in Jurassic Park.
Laura Dern.
Daniel Leach.
She was great. Laura Dern was great. Really hot looking back in the early 80s.
It always goes back to Last Jedi. Last Jedi was the final nail in the coffin.
It was, yeah.
Always goes back to Last Jedi.
The thing is, I remember when Carrie Fisher passed away, that really hit us hard. But it was the fact that they were saying, don't worry, we've got enough. Ryan Johnson came out and said, don't worry, she's filmed all her scenes. We can work around it, and all this. And you're like, okay. And it still had a year to go. Yeah. But that was the weird thing.
The thing is, they had the time, as we've said previously.
Exactly.
They had the time to sort all this out, and they just didn't. And
I didn't.
It's all. I
didn't care about the Mary Poppins bit when she went out the ship. I know. But what I mean is, I could understand. I was like, well, how she's not going to get out of this one. And then when she did, I was like, oh, that was actually a surprise. But I was like, well, obviously it was probably going to be too much and she'd die. And that to me would be a lot better than her living and then for the next movie become a mannequin with her face on it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we leave it on that sad note?
It's very sad.
Yeah. Very sad.
I'll just say to everybody in the chat, please like, share, subscribe. I'm sure that you've done all the usual button clicking. We truly do. I truly thank you for popping in today. These shows, as I always say, are nothing without the interaction from you guys. And unlike other channels, it doesn't cost you a penny, and you get your messages read. So we truly do appreciate
we care
that.
About you in the chat. We really do.
We've got a nice little community going on. It's just great. It's just been such a blessing that I've met new friends, and we talk about stuff like this. It's just great. So, as I said, I think we'll give the Nooners a go this week. We'll see what happens. We've had really good numbers on this, considering it's early afternoon in the UK. So, cheers, everybody. I'll just say a big thank you to the guests. Mega Geek, thank you, sir.
No worries.
Thank you very much. Matt Potts, you all right?
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much for having me.
It's my pleasure, my friend. Always great to hear from you. So we'll just say thanks, everybody. We'll try and see you tomorrow. I'm sure somebody will pop up at some point. So as I said, kind of noon UK time. We'll see what happens. Cheers, everybody. Take care. Look after yourself.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.